All right, so I guess we should start over. Sorry, everybody. So, hi, Catherine Fitzsimmons. I am the owner of BrainLag, and this is the launch party for The Light Between Stars, BrainLag's first anthology, and the sort of 10-year anniversary of BrainLag. I released my first book in August 2010. So, in honor of the 10th anniversary, I decided to put together this anthology, and we have most of our authors in the anthology right here. So, we'll just go around and have people introduce themselves again. I apologize. We'll start with Stephen this time.
Okay. I'm Stephen B. Pearl, author of the Tinker's World series of books, which Tinker's talks in the story in The Light Between Stars is the latest installment of that world. And it's post-apocalyptic science fiction set in a realistic Ontario after the collapse of society.
Thank you, Stephen. Simon.
Hi, I'm Simon A.G. Spencer. I am the author of Soul Lighted Wings, and my story in The Light Between the Stars is Awakening. That's all I gotta say.
All right, thank you, Simon. JD, can we get you to repeat your introduction, please?
Okay, I was just trying to log into the Twitch, and I got background music.
Oh.
So I'll try and figure that out later, because wanted to see questions and stuff. Just JD DeLuzio, Jeff. I have a story in The Light Between Stars called The Rapture of Batu and Hayes, and BrainLag is putting out a novel called The Con on November 13th.
Friday the 13th.
And yes, and you should buy into that.
It's actually our second Friday the 13th release of the year. Our first was Friday, March 13th with Crowman by David Ray. David, can I get you to give your introduction again, please?
Yes, of course. Take it everyone can hear me?
Yep, we're all good now.
Right. My name's David Ray. As Catherine was saying, I wrote Crowman, which is a dark fantasy and in the anthology. I have a short story called At War with John Davis, which was inspired by a true story told to me by my father-in-law. I live in Scotland, and I think that's enough from me.
Thank you, David. Erynn.
Hi, I'm Erynn. I'm from London, Ontario, and I write a lot about London, Ontario, but with magic and things. And sometimes LGBTQ plus rep and magic and I don't know, alternate universes. Anyways, I wrote an upcoming book from BrainLag called Other London Volume 1, Welcome to the Other London. That's such a mouthful. And it's a sort of fun modern fantasy about magic, interdimensional travel, and other Canadian things in an alternate history where magic has been a thing on Earth since the 70s. And I wrote a story set in that universe about the characters from it that's in Light Between the Stars called Ella's Birthday. And if you like that, please check out the book when it comes out in October. And if you like the book when it comes out in October, come back and read this.
And Other London is in fact BrainLag's first middle grade title, so aimed for readers aged 10 to 12. So, Hugh, if you would please.
Yeah, I'm tempted to say things completely different than my first interview. So I'm broadcasting from the center of the earth, and I'm the principal author of the Simon has to look.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah, but it's a through of extreme density. Saucers, wonderful books from BrainLag that you should have. And if you have already, get 6 or 7. Give them to your friends. hopefully we'll be having another novel coming out. And Nowhere to Nowhere in the Stars anthology.
Thank you, Hugh. And Gary.
All right. So, yes, I am Gary Girod. I had a recent book published for Brainlag, The Maiden Voyage of New York City, and in The Light Between Stars, I wrote the short story, The Coward and the Thief in Paradise. So I seem to have the longest titles of everyone here, so that's my claim to fame.
That is true. All right, so if there's any questions or comments, chat, please feel free to pipe in anytime. Pretty much just playing this by ear. Would anybody like to start by talking a little bit more about the story that you contributed to The Light Between Stars?
I can start, but not with my story. I just wanted to say that the story Nowhere to Nowhere, that's probably my favorite, obviously, maybe not outside of mine because I'm biased, but I thought that was pretty fantastic. Do you want to tell us just how you got such a strange and out there idea?
It's one of my favorites, too.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Gosh, blush. I have to go lie down. I'm a weird person. I actually could. What I was going to do about Nowhere, because you might realize with the story, it's written a first-person story from the perspective of the female protagonist, and I had to do a reading for this anime. People think there's a sort of a gender identity aspect of the story that isn't there, and it just confuse people. So, I'll do something like that. But I actually would like to read, in answer to your question, a paraphrased version of about this story section in the anthology, which I really enjoyed for all the anthologies in the book, was the sort of discussion of where the stories came from. And so but I had a lot of fun. I think as much fun writing that as I did writing the story. But I'll read it, if that's with your permission, I'll read that to answer your question. Is that okay, Gary? All right.
He asked me, and I said yes.
Well, you asked the question. And also, you teach French history, so you've got a lot of intellectual authority. I don't want to cross you or anything.
That's right.
Speak to me in French. Anyway, it's getting to know it. Since it's dangerous and unsanitary to drill beforehand and look inside, you have to rely on people to try and explain where your stories come from. Here's two metaphors to explain how my story process seems to work. One, stone soup. Do you remember that old fable about the guy who has a rockin'? Villagers keep coming up and asking what's the deal. He says, I'm making stone soup. And once they hear it, they get a share. If they get a share, the villagers are happy to throw in carrots, some celery, and turnip, bits of meat, even some spices. At the end, everybody, fantastic meal, all from just a stone. And soup is usually thought of as a story about the value of sharing. Totally reasonable. But I look at this fable as also meaning something else. That is, if you keep dropping things into a steaming, writhing cauldron, you never know what's going to result. There is definitely some stone souping going to the creation of Nowhere to Nowhere. By the way, I really created a new verb, stone souping. I hope that's going to very next. Anyway, part of the story was inspired when I learned Huxley was researching hallucinogenic drugs in the 1950s. He consulted with the head of a who is studying the effects of LSD on schizophrenic patients. And the hospital was located in Weyburn, Saskatchewan, which is not a big place, even now. Who would have thought that something so interesting would have happened in my home province? I'm from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan originally. It's not a joke name that Mark Twain created. Then another thing came up that I started thinking that there's a tradition of small-town bumpkin comedy in Canada, like Schitt's Creek and Corner Gas. Canadians are expert at these kinds of stories because feeling dumb and aimless is something we're totally comfortable with. Another point of inspiration are all these beautiful and bizarre buildings I come across in my current home of Toronto. Who knows what's going on inside them? Finally, another thing that contributed to my story, proof that these ideas can stew around your head pot forever. It's 1973, and I'm reading Arthur C. Clarke's novel, The City of... Somehow, that book conjures up an image. It's not in the story, but it just came to my mind. And each one of those doorways opens to a different pathway. Metaphor number 2, a somewhat derailed. Let's get out of the creative kitchen and go into the playroom and start again, connect the dots. Now get a thick, newly pencil and randomly make a bunch of dots. Those are your ideas. Then get a thinner 2H marker. Start drawing dots, also randomly. Now there's no guarantee that you're going to get anything. Plus, doing this can be very insightful, and you might get something entertaining, like making a story. That power drill down. That is my answer.
Fantastic.
Any questions about my answer?
I have
And
one.
if you get the rep, yes, go for it.
Are you the last Saskatchewan pirate?
No, Simon is.
What?
Actually, I don't know if you've been to Saskatchewan, Simon. Anyway, that's a reference to somebody's song, isn't it?
It was originally the Arrogant Worms, but
That's right.
Captain Tractor's cover is a little bit more well known. And I'm personally acquainted with Captain Tractor. They went to college with my family, with my dad. So
Wow.
that's sort of why I feel the need to question if people are the last Saskatchewan pirate.
Well, I'm pretty old. I could be. If you haven't heard the song.
You can't be the last Ontario pirate. That isn't funny because there's actually water in Ontario.
That's right. That's right. It's true. It's very true. Any other questions that I can answer? If you got a drill to the forehead, it occurred to me that Canadian science. David Cronenberg's movie Camera. Michael Ironside drills a hole in his forehead with a power drill. The aftermath of it, I presume it's anyway, the creative process with me is a story a stew in there I had for years, and eventually somehow they just emerge like some part of my body that finally gets. Do we have any other questions of anybody?
Even from the Twitch feed.
The Twitch feed.
Because I've got that now.
All right. No, but folks, let's talk about other people's stories.
I don't think we can hear you, Catherine.
Well, that explains a few things.
Oh, now. All right.
Oh, I see.
We're back.
I muted my mic on that. My apologies. Yes, so we are live on twitch.tv/brainlagbooks.
I thought you were speechless, Catherine, by my brilliant essay.
I was. It was. You know what? I loved all the passages that everybody wrote about their stories in this, and that for those watching. So in addition to the stories, I asked everybody to write a few words about the story, where the idea came from, whatever they wanted to say about it. And I really loved everything that everybody wrote. And if you get the book, I highly recommend not skipping over that, because it's really fascinating information. And also, as with Hugh's, very entertaining as well.
But wait till you've read the story.
Yes.
Because there are spoilers in some of those. And I still have that mixed feeling because, to my knowledge, 2 online reviews have called attention to my story, and the reviewer happened to like that story. But one of them spoilers the story. I'm like, on the one hand, gee, it's great you like my story. On the other hand, why would you do that?
Yes.
It's all in the telling.
I never worry much about spoilers, because if something's working, I forget everything I've heard about a story or a movie, or do it, and so it's like the first time.
And it wasn't it wasn't a full spoiler, but it was enough of a spoiler that I thought, oh, I wish he hadn't said that. But on the other hand, he liked the story, so what are you supposed to say?
Yeah.
Buy the book. That's what I
Exactly.
Buy the book.
Exactly.
He was reviewing it, so obviously he did.
Yes. So the book
Buy more.
is available on brain-lag.com. There's a lot more information on the book there, as well as samples you can read of a few of the stories. So how about we start some readings from some of these stories?
Sounds good.